It's the Husky Lab. It's the Husky Lab. We in the lab. We in the lab. The Husky Lab. The Husky Lab. We in the lab. We in the lab. It's the Husky Lab.
Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Guess what? We back in the lab once again. That's right. We in the Husky Lab, and we about to get it popping. So, here's the thing. Have you ever been to the store and you needed some certain seasonings, you know? You needed you some allspice, you needed you some dillweed, you needed you... Look, I'm finna stop all that right now. See, we got a project at hand. We're gonna experiment in the lab today. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna make our own special seasonings, point blank, period. So, you might as well strap in because this is gonna save you a lot of time, energy, and money. My wonderful wife decided that maybe a great present for her beautiful husband, Husky Hefe himself, is a dehydrator. That's right, a dehydrator. Right here, I have my trusty, I'm gonna move it over, my Brentwood dehydrator. Yes, yes. So if you don't know what a dehydrator does, let me fill you in real quick. A dehydrator basically dehydrates food. Hydrate means to add water to certain situations, H2O. And the dehydrator takes water away from it. So that means that it takes the water out of foods, whether it be meats, vegetables, fruits. And basically, you can use that to make your own powders and seasonings and salts. So let's move these store-bought things out the way and let's get into our bag a little bit. So today, we're gonna be dehydrating an onion as well as some mushrooms. That's right, an onion and some mushrooms. Why we choose to do that? Well, one, some of these fruits and vegetables like these two that I'm dehydrating today, they're probably on their last leg. But we don't have to be horrible with food waste. All we have to do is dehydrate the water out of the system of these fruits and vegetables, and it'll kill off that bacterial growth, which will normally be the cause of mold and things of that nature. So I'm not gonna hold you long. This is very simple. All I do is take these, cut it up into nice, as equal a size as you can, and put them in my dehydrator and let it go. Now, my dehydrator, grateful for it, but it's not the best, I'm gonna be honest. It's great because it came from my wife. Don't let her hear me say it's not the best. But nevertheless, the more expensive dehydrators, they do have certain temperatures that you can hold it at. Mine's holds at a steady state temperature, and for mushrooms, I know it takes usually about 3 to 10 hours as recommended in my guide, my Brentwood guide. Yes, sometimes you do have to read your guides and such. But an onion, I treat it as, it has more, what I'm trying to say, more water volume. So we're gonna treat that similar to like a pineapple or such, which usually takes anywhere from 3 to 36 hours. But I'm gonna really try and run this for 12 hours, and I think it should take away a great deal of that moisture inside of it. So I don't want to overtalk you all. That is not what I'm in here to do. I want to educate you. I don't want to overtalk you. I know your attention spans are short. But anyway, today what's going to be used to assist us with even cuts is this mandolin. And I just have a simple blade in. I'm going to show it to you. Just makes a simple cut and everything stays pretty even. That's what we want, pretty even cut, so everything dehydrates the same. So nevertheless, let's get these things on this mandolin and get to cutting. So let's get this thing on started and woke up, cranked up. Yeah, we're gonna peel this onion. We're gonna get it on this mandolin. We're gonna go back and forth action. So get some even slices. We want to keep everything pretty even and uniform, just so we can make sure when we dehydrate things, they dehydrate around the same time. As you can see here, it's very slim. I'm gonna try to show you in the camera. Let me bring it down a little bit. Very slim. Sometimes I use the green guide thing, sometimes I don't, but be cautious when using the mandalay. That blade is very much so sharp. I have cut myself one time before. Don't be me. Um, yeah, and look at how much one onion makes. This right here, I'm gonna discard because it has some of the root part to it, but nevertheless, that's our onion chopped evenly, and it's gonna dehydrate so beautifully. I can tell you that. I can really tell you that. I'm gonna move these onions to the side, and I'm gonna try to get started with my mushrooms. Now, the mushrooms on the mandalay was it was very tricky. I did do it upside down and kind of got a good result as far as evenness, but eventually, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna scratch that all together and try to chop it. Like, see, I'm getting even slices. It's just after a certain point it gets scary. And like I said, my guide, that green guide that's to my right, that green guide, it doesn't really fit that mushroom. So you don't want to play with that blade. Like I stated before, if you cut yourself on that blade, you're gonna be upset. No one likes to get cut. So yeah, I'm gonna try it a couple more times to get it to a certain point, and then you're gonna see me pull out the knife. I think it's about to happen in 5. Oh, it happens now. And I just try to make these as uniform as possible. And yeah, once you're done with your mushrooms, you can get them in a dehydrator. Now, I can't tell you all a secret. I'll tell you ahead of time. The mushrooms, as they dehydrated, it seemed to have dehydrated far less time than my onions. So I guess it is more water content in the onion than it is the mushroom. But nevertheless, I was pleased at all cuts of my mushrooms with how they dehydrated accordingly. So you can go either way. If you want to use the mandalay, use the mandalay. If not, get to it. All right, so we got everything chopped up. We got our onions. They look pretty good. They came out pretty even. It was pretty easy to get those cut on the mandalay. Now, the mushrooms gave me a tidbit of a little problem. I got some on the mandalay which came out pretty even, about the same size as the mushroom would. But other ones I had to manually chop, so they came out a little bit thicker. So how we're gonna place this, we're gonna go ahead and place this inside our dehydrator, brought to us by Brentwood Appliances. Shout out to my lovely wife for buying me this dehydrator. It's gonna make us a lot of bread. But nevertheless, this dehydrator comes with multiple trays. So at the base of it, it just runs like this constant low temp hot air, which draws out the moisture and things. But at the base of it, I'm gonna put those thicker mushrooms, which kind of was a pest. They're a little bit thicker. Like, I don't know if this even does it any justice, but I'm gonna put the thicker ones that I didn't cut on the mandalay at the base and like the first 2 layers, and then we're gonna go smaller, the smaller cut of mushrooms, and then we're gonna go with those onions at the top. Those onions have more water weight, but I feel like they draw up more and that water get out of there pretty quick. And I'm gonna try to run everything at like 12 hours. So yeah, you don't have to be pretty with it. Just go around, try not to get anything in the middle. Leave room for air pockets and things of that nature so that airflow can go through. But you don't have to be super pretty. You can stuff it some, man. I saw a guy stuff it some. I remember the first time making my seasoning, and yeah, I was trying to be all pretty and like, oh no, I gotta leave space. No, it's all gonna draw up, and periodically I might come and check it. So nevertheless, I'll keep moving things around if they need more space on another tray. And that's it. So I want to do one that's going to be like strictly mushrooms. Then I'm going to do one that's an onion powder, of course. And then I want to do a blend just to have a different blend. What flavor does mushroom give you? Do you guys know? It's the umami flavor. I love it. Umami. But yeah, I always wanted to try my own mushroom thing. And these mushrooms, like I said, I had for a second. So I was like, let's not waste money. Let's turn it into something. Let's use it. I go to the store and try to buy mushroom powders and such, and they charge you an arm and leg. So it's like, hey, let's combat them by making our own, which will be better. We know it'll be better. This type of dehydrator, of course, it kind of sits up and feels like, oh, it's thick, but it's all that water weight is gonna leave eventually, and it's gonna kind of settle in more. But we just want to stack. And especially the onions, I'm most definitely gonna just stack those, you know. One, I got 2 more trays, and that's the onions. So we're just gonna go around and get them in there. Yeah, see how they lay. They lay pretty well compared to those mushrooms. We're putting the top on, there we have it. It's in, guys. Forgive me, it gets hot under these lights. But here we go, we're gonna cut it on. And we got 12 hours. So I see y'all the next day. We're gonna get everything blended up. And once everything is blended up into those powders, I'm gonna show you that. And we got our seasonings, man. So stay tuned, we got more seasonings to make. This is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. Hey, see y'all in a little bit. 12 hours exactly. Anyways, we back. So that means what? That our ingredients have gotten dried out. These right here are the mushrooms, and they're pretty bone dry. I don't know if you can hear it. But they break, you see it's making like that little powder substance. So that's pretty dried out. These dried out in probably, I'd say, about 10 hours, which the booklet of the Brentwood dehydrated sand, it'll take about 10 hours. Now my onions, you see, it took about 12 hours. There's a little more moisture in there. I was very surprised that the mushrooms dried out, how quickly they did. They did quicker. So what I'm gonna do is place these in the bowl so you can see it. And our seasoning that we're making is just gonna be an onion powder, onion mushroom powder. It's gonna be a blend of it. So, excuse me. I don't have the exact measurements, but nevertheless, we're gonna get it all blended up in a NutriBullet, and we're gonna have us a great seasoning blend. Now you wanna also make sure it's as dry as possible so it can make that powder. It doesn't clump up or anything. Usually in the store-bought things, the store-bought powders and such, we get a caking agent or things of that nature, and that caking agent kind of keeps things from coagulating. So you also have to make sure once you're done dehydrating it, you let it sit so it can cool down to the right temperature. Because if you induce it to the blender while it's still warm or hot, it's gonna create heat on the inside, steam, which then is gonna start condensating and making a liquid or water, and that's what you don't want in your seasonings. So I'm gonna get the rest of this. I'm not even about to keep doing this. I'm about to actually blend it up in my handy dandy NutriBullet, and yeah, we finna see it come to form. Make sure your NutriBullet is, or whatever high power blender, or if you got a coffee grinder, make sure it's dry. Remember, we don't want to introduce water. We introduce water, that means bacteria can grow and form. Your powders will go bad real quick. So yeah, let's get this blended up, and there go our seasoning. It's beautiful, right? Like I said, we're gonna blend it all together. Let me get a little taste test going. Onion powder. First off, it's way sweeter. Naturally sweet compared to, whoa. Let's get some of this onion powder. I'm definitely here for the onion powder. I mean, my bad, the mushroom powder. It gives you that, I guess that's what they call it. That's the umami. It gives you that rich gravy type richness to it. This is gonna go into this. Take out my whisk, give it a good whisk. And that's it, guys. Then we got the Husky mushroom powder. Oh my lordy. I just want y'all to see it's very dry. And that's how you want it. That's how you make a good powder, seasoning blend, dried out blend. But I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer. Hey, but one thing, you gotta subscribe, you gotta like, you gotta comment on this video, you gotta share it with a friend. I ain't gonna hold you too much longer in the Husky Lab. We did this experiment and it was a success. So nevertheless, I'm about to get this packaged up, and like I said, you hit the store, you hit the link, come to the store. We got these seasonings. Hey, love, peace.